Well, welcome back to Unlearning Everything You Thought You Knew About Chess. I'm gonna be showing you a few backwards thinking low elo games, if you will. Side note, I've been working on a new video that is a completely different concept than what I normally do with the new software, taken forever. Decided to come back to the OG style of video because the new video is taking way too long. I'm about to hire an editor. Also, happy Turkey Day to all my Americans out there, which to everyone not from America is the day that the Native Americans taught the Pilgrims how to grow food off the land, and they all had a nice meal together, and then the Pilgrims manifested their destiny. What a great holiday. And on that note, let's play some chess. I wanted to include this game because I'm at 90% accuracy, and not to spoil anything, but my opponent kind of shits the bed here. It's an important game to me because when you're low elo, your opponent can do the worst possible move, but hardly do you capitalize on it. I'll click through some games afterwards and see the eval bar plummet and I missed a move entirely. This is an exception to that rule. We start the game how we normally start it. We always end up in this formation one way or another. It's just the law of the land, law of nature here that we do this. He forks our two pieces, the pawn and the bishop. We go ahead and take with the pawn. He takes back with the knight, and now we don't want to take with the bishop because we don't want to allow his queen to come out. So we just go ahead and drop the bishop back. We also don't really want to lose the bishop. Although I guess we're cool with losing this bishop. We're discriminate on bishops, I guess. I don't know. This seems fine though. If he takes, we just take back with this pawn and it centralizes it because we already lost that pawn on that file anyways, so it doesn't matter. He centralizes a rook. We bring out a knight to eventually get to this square, which we take advantage of and go ahead and go to. Now is a little bit of problems. If he takes with bishop, we take back with our bishop, and then he takes with queen, and then we're just cooked. We're down a piece. We lost two pieces. He has one that we only took one. So now we cannot, we're forced to essentially not stay in this scenario. And I still don't want to lose this bishop, but it would be fine if I could just save, you know, my knight somewhere. So we decide to go here and just take his bishop, and we force an even trade of material. So if he takes back with this pawn, then he's opening up this whole king file, or the file that the king's on, and I could eventually go here, I think, if this were to take, and then we could go here. Well, you know, there's plans. I got him. Don't even worry about it. Don't stop asking specifics. There's plans, I promise. However, he decides not to take back with the pawn. We move the knight back, and this is because we want to be able to open up this diagonal for this queen. I feel like there's something here that maybe, you know, he's penning, and I want to be able to have the queen, give the queen some mobility. I guess here you could block the, you know, whatever. We gave the queen mobility. And to my surprise, he takes my bishop, which I gladly take back. Psych, I take his queen because it's hanging. Idiot. But see, to most of you, that's obvious. I'm gonna say, to low elo, sometimes that's not that obvious. You're looking here, you're like, I want to open up a file for my rook. You're not even looking. You're not paying attention to the queen being absolutely open to an attack off that knight move. I was. Part of my plans. My big plans. I told you. I always have a plan. Are you proud now, Dad? He obviously takes back the rook. We move the queen out to that open file we were talking about earlier. That if he were ever to move this piece, then we can get on open file and start, you know, monkeying around. He's forced to move, and we can now take back that bishop. He moves his rook over to attack our queen. We move the queen. He's defending this pawn. But I, in my head, know if he were to ever move this rook somewhere down, we can take this essentially with mate. If he were to ever move this rook over, we can take this. And if he were to ever move here and try to challenge me here with the queen, or challenge the queen here, we would move and take this pawn for free. And basically be in position to do some sort of mating procedures. I don't know exactly the route I would take, but he'd be in trouble. He'd be in trouble. We decide to move the knight out to get it into action. He moves. He moves the rook down. What did I just say about moving the rook down? How does he not know? Okay, again, a low elo blunder, but we, being also low elo, actually take advantage of it. This doesn't happen very often. Usually I find my own path. I carve my own path. I start sacrificing pieces. I start throwing shit around, and hopefully they make a mistake somehow and it works into my evil little stupid maniacal plan. This game, I'm just playing, I feel like somewhat sound, decently sound at least, and he's just making mistakes and I'm finding them. I recognize that now the rooks aren't connected and this rook is free. He resigns. By the way, I'm up 9 material with a taken, you know, and never Never resign if you're low elo. On to game 2. Honestly, look at me locking in these days. I'm finding all these mistakes that everybody sees as so glaringly obvious to all y'all. It's also easier when you're not playing the game, okay? So glaringly obvious, but now I'm starting to find them. Does this formation look familiar, by the way? This is just all I ever play. Again, I don't even know if this is a real opening. The Italian game, but I feel like I just figured this out myself. I don't know. I didn't find a course opening that was like, do all these moves. I just know generally this has worked for me in the past. We go ahead and castle after the opening, and we bring this out because now his bishop can come down here and fuck our shit up. So we go ahead and castle to stop that. Or, I'm sorry, bring the pawn up to stop that. We also do castle. We bring out our bishop, he brings out a knight, we bring out a knight. I'm not very concerned with this knight threat yet, bars. Like, maybe if this were to come down eventually, if this knight were ever gone, like, was defending that square, maybe he could do something about it. Or if he were to move here and then the queen down, and then take, and we take, and then he takes with queen. But I'm not worried about it right this very second. Now, interestingly enough, he does push the bishop forward 1. And we bring our queen up to connect our rooks for 1. For 2, discovered attack here because nothing's defending this knight. We can attack with the queen. And he does exactly what we said. And I'm not just saying this because it's post game and it's like, oh, you maybe you know what happened. No, I actually did think this in the game that he could move here and move the queen down. I was thinking about what kind of plans he's doing, because why would this knight be here stranded? You gotta think, you gotta think through, my boy. You gotta think through. You gotta think about what could possibly transpire in the next 3 or 4 moves if you want to be good at this game. Says someone who's bad at this game. I'm trying to learn, okay? Don't even hate on me, bro. But I won't lie, I'm also looking at the same kind of concept. I'm predicting that potentially the queen wasn't just moved down for all these garbage ideas that I had, and I know they're garbage because I had them. It's also so it could castle to the queen side, it being the king. Sorry for the not in specifics here, but so I'm already thinking ahead again of this diagonal here, and if we could get the queen there somehow. Like, you can't really sack the knight because either of these 2 pawns can take, and you just still have a pawn there. Like, how do you get it out the way? I don't know at the moment, but I'm already looking at a way to somehow spearhead this attack to the eventual castle over here. But we just decide to push the pawn and attack the knight. He does castle. Throwing the knight. Idiot! What a fool. We just take the knight, obviously. People talk about opening up the files for your rooks, and it's never really that important until you have a sneaky attack this strong. I don't know if he recognizes this or knows. Sometimes I wonder what's going on in my opponent's head. Now we have the potential to go here and bring this rook over, even if he has an idea as stupid as bringing the king over here, thinking that somehow he's gonna take it. Even he's not, maybe he doesn't see this bishop, and I don't mean to be that guy, but he doesn't see the bishop. I basically pointed out to him when I bring this rook over, because now it's protected by the rook. This is the clearest day. You can't take this. Sorry, buddy. Try again later. Now, what he's supposed to do about this is beyond me. I don't know. I think maybe go here and then takes, and then what? Sack the queen? There's got to be a better way. Hang on. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to read. Oh, I just tried to rematch his ass. He don't want that anyways. I don't know how to read the, what do you call it? Algebraic notation. So I just try to guess. Oh, I'm a fucking genius. Okay. We go here. This is it. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Here's what happens. He does some dumbass move over here. We have mate in 1 and we take it. I was trying to figure out how to save it. I think if we go here, he goes here, like you would obviously just take it. You're cooked. So I would still be in a huge position, but, a huge advantage. Regardless, guy gets fried. Checkmated. Game 3. Game 3 is exciting. And mind you, I'm 482 elo. That's because this is a 3-minute game. I know. I don't normally finish in 3 minutes, but I will. I'm sorry, class. We begin the game in old familiar fashion, and it doesn't surprise me because 3-minute games are really just what's your intuition, which I'm bad at. This is why I normally lose my 3-minute games. I'm trying to get better at faster chess. Don't ask me why. Maybe I got plans later on. Don't ask. There's definitely times where I'm like, there's something here. I don't have enough time to figure it out, and it makes me very upset. So I don't normally play 3-minute games, but I think it tests your intuition. It tests what you know how to play. Everybody's gonna play their little opening. This is my little opening. Look, I'm playing it without even going below. It's 3+2. I've gained 3 seconds. Like I'm just playing this off the rip. without even any thought to it. He now pins the knight to the queen. We push up and ask what it wants to do. He takes to the knight. We take with the queen to not disrupt the pawn structure. We bring out a bishop. He brings down a pawn. We castle. He castles. Potentially a mistake brewing here. I find myself enamored by this. It's like I got a heat-seeking missile on any of this. This all looks weak to me. Weak! Get your weight up, son! I'm licking my lips like the predator I am. I swear, I'm ferocious. I swear. Don't come near. I'm not all bark, no bite, I promise. We proceed to just move upon up. He responds by developing his knight. We bring our knight up because we're a ferocious predator and we are double attacking this now. I don't give a damn if your knight is there. I will lose a piece to fuck you up. And what does he do in response? Doesn't even care about it. He does some unrelated knight move trying to reroute to fuck knows where, to Timbuktu. This boy's going over to Africa. I don't know. Oh shit, he's from Africa. Hang on. Where's that? South Africa? My apologies. Typical American thinking of everything in their frame of reference. He's actually from Africa. Okay, so he's just going across the block. But we initiate our plan to go up with the knight. What's he gonna do? Take with the knight. Then we take with the bishop. Now he's in trouble. He's in deep trouble because we can go here. We can do all sorts of stupid stuff, but we can figure it out. I promise you we'll figure it out. And sometimes you figure it out faster than you think you will because your opponent does something absolutely brain dead and moves down in the maiden one. And guess what? We find it and bait him with the